Welcome to Greenville, North Carolina. It's American basketball on ESPN+. Education Day. Pitt County rocking from corner to corner. Howard out of the MEAC. East Carolina out of the American. Thousands of children ready to scream their hearts out for some afternoon basketball. Thanks for joining us here in the heart of Greenville, North Carolina. It's the daycare. It's the loudest place on earth today with Gabby Sartori. I'm EvanBudrovich. Both programs with a huge midseason test. Howard at 3-1. East Carolina just played #1 South Carolina. What can these programs put on display for elementary kids?
Well, I think the kids are going to learn a thing or two about comebacks, coming off a loss against South Carolina. But more importantly for the Pirate guard play, not one of those guards scored more than 2 points last game. This is a confidence booster today. And for Howard, they're just trying to prove themselves against the Pirates and, of course, in front of these kids.
6,000 kids rocking. For Howard, it's a senior guard, Destiny Howell. How does she carry the load for the Bison today?
She is just a playmaker, already off to a great start in the season. 11 points last game, averaging 16 points per game. Last season, she tore her ACL, and during her junior year, she was the MEAC Player of the Year. So when she tore her ACL, a lot of recovery and already off to a great start this season. But as for ECU, Howard is going to have to defend against my Joyner, and oh my, 25 points, 10 rebounds against the Gamecocks. And I think the test for her is to match that energy against Howard. Yeah, they're not South Carolina, but you got to play at that intensity every game. Against Furman, she had 4 points, but try to capitalize off that dominant game tonight. Or today, excuse me.
It's not just Cardi B and Bluey. We got plenty of young stars. Joyner played against the top team in the country, dominant, with their 28th career double-double. And there's an emotional aspect to playing in front of 6,000 kids.
Absolutely. And I think the best part, too, is not only is it my first education game, but I was looking during warm-ups, freshman Devin Hageman is just really taking it in. She's like kind of confused, like what's going on? I think this whole game, putting on a show in front of this crowd and feeding off that energy is going to be great.
First meeting in 5 years. And many of these kids were in elementary school themselves back in 2019. Now we gear up for a huge matchup. ECU just played the #1 team in the country. My Joyner was cooking. And Howard at 3-1, their best start in the MEAC. And I guarantee you that first bucket to go in, regardless of who scores, it'll be electric here in Greenville.
Oh, yeah. It might take a while for the kids to figure out which team to root for because they're just excited to be here right now. But it's going to be good.
Opening tip with Zania Thomas, the junior forward, and my Joyner, the all-AAC standout. And ECU starts with the basketball here at home. The Pirate Club that's undefeated in this building, 2-0, and their defense has been stout, holding teams under 50 points at home. This is Jayla Hurt kicking it. Zania Johnson way off for three. And the collective gasp of 5,000.
Oh my gosh.
How do you handle that emotion early? That's so important with the clock to 4. Johnson's got to go, and she travels.
And the Pirate defense is great, but when you're being double teamed by not only this press, but 5,000 children, this could be pretty tough for Howard tonight.
Here is Ty Grace's starting 5. Destiny Howell, the all-conference standout, is doubled. She's joined by Thomas, double-figure scorer. What a nice ball to Creek, but that's a turnover. And Gabby, how do these teams handle the emotion, not only the pressure, but this crowd early?
It's going to be tough to get used to. You'd imagine Coach not only warns them, but I wonder if they practiced with some sort of crowd noise.
You see in the NFL, they have boom boxes on the field.
That's
Can
right.
you emulate any of that? As here's Weiss down low. She lost it. A steal for Niall Miller. Up ahead, Howard wants to run. This is a fast break team, 15 fast break points a game. Fresh off a nice win on the road on Saturday. King lost it. King hangs on, and a steal.
Great help defense by Miller on that.
Miller in attack mode. First bucket. 6,000 rocking here in Greenville.
That will get the crowd rolling. Doing it on both ends on that help defense from Miller, and rewarded for her efforts as she goes coast to coast with the bucket. Hard finish to the free throw line.
Maybe the most important basket on Education Day, that first point. Kids were doing the whip and the nay-nay pregame. Now they're working on their and one celebrations.
And don't forget, we walked into the cha-cha slide.
Miller and the Pirates at 74%. It's important to have dance moves, too. It's
Absolutely.
not just basketball. Here's some pressure and a foul on Amaya Joyner. That's her first.
I like the aggression early. It's a quick foul, unfortunately, but, I mean, just proving your defense is really high intensity. I don't mind it.
Joyner a 12-point, 10-rebound-a-game player. Need to keep her on the court. As here's a three. That's off. And a board for Jayla Herp. Led the team in scoring the first 3 games. And has been a huge impact off an ACL injury. Herp's pass intercepted. That's Miller. Now some pressure defense. Howell for 3. Great ball movement, sets it up.
And the kids are cheering anyways.
That is part of the struggle early on.
Cheering for basketball. Great play.
Come the fourth quarter, might be cheering for purple, but
That's
early
right.
on, cheering for anything. Herp breaks down the zone. She's off. Joyner the board. Back in, fresh off a double-double. How does her rebounding impact this game?
It's right where she left off. I mean, when she gets the rebound, she's not only, getting some momentum on defense, but the offensive boards. How does that not hype up the crowd, hype up your teammates?
Here's Howell again. Second three, quieting 6,000.
And that's the playmaker right there. That's who you got to watch out for, and she's making her presence pretty obvious.
9th three of the year for Howell, who missed all of last year with an ACL. That's a huge addition for the Bison. Picked second in the MEAC behind Norfolk State. Miller, what a time. Weish can't take advantage.
A great no-look pass on that.
Jayla Herp, tremendous vision running this offense. Remember, the Pirates lost all 3 of their point guards a year ago, so Bobby Smith, a shooting guard, was running the point.
Also lost top scorer Danae McNeil last year, and Coach McNeil mentioned that Jayla Herp has to be that go-to on offense.
There's Johnson with the board as Herp runs ahead. Howard getting back defensively really well tonight. That's a strength of the Pirates in transition. Herp 1v1. ECU at a 2 of 5 start from the court. And active hands by King. And that's an illegal foul on Weish. And Howard's activity level really good defensively.
Absolutely. Here's that three-pointer by Howell. Really asserting dominance early. And Joyner right where she left off.
He had to package the first 4 minutes in a little 30-second segment right there. He got it.
A deep three on that one, too.
Howell's the best three-point shooter in the MEAC at 40%. Nice spin. Thomas into Hutton. Defensive board. Last touch by the Pirates. Anjanae Hutton, who has the Technicolor hair. She played for Howard 2 years ago. Won a regular season title for the Bison. A neat reunion moment today.
If you're going to drive against Hutton, you're going to have to do more than that, though.
Hutton and the Pirates block 7 shots a game. There's more active hands for Johnson. How does that challenge an offense when the defense is so good?
Oh, it's going to make them hard. I mean, they're suffocating not only in the paint, but also right off the jump.
It leads to a rebound for Smith. East Carolina's defense forced 20 turnovers a game, setting up on this end. Hutton down low. Weish is fouled. That's Tatiana into the game. Actually, Talia, who subbed in for her sister Tatiana.
And I love how Pirates are starting early on the pick and roll. They see the defense is hedging a lot, but more importantly, they're getting mismatches inside. That's going to be huge today.
A 5-second call on Johnson. And Ty Grace's club, year 10 here at Howard. She's won multiple MEAC titles. Said this is the best team she's had because of plays like this.
It's like a spitting image of the Pirates. It's defense against defense.
This could be a clobber fight, a race to 50, possibly. Two clubs that love to play low-scoring defensive basketball. The answer so far for Howard's been 2 threes by Howell. And now a matchup zone. Howell underneath. Really good spin, and she's fouled by Weiss. That's the first on Talia.
Calling for a travel before the foul. And yeah, could argue that.
Both teams in a 2-minute scoring drought combined here as King finds an option. Outside of Howell, where's the offense coming from tonight? Down low, Steele passes. Nice look, King, no. Tip drill, Steele saves, knocks it out. Last touch by Howard.
Haven's just 100% all the time. I mean, diving into her own teammates on the bench. Just look at the matched intensity inside. Not one person being lazy on those loose balls.
This applies to kids playing foursquare in the backyard.
Absolutely.
So much tenacity, fighting for everything. We haven't had a bucket in 3 minutes. Really good defense. There's the freshman Hagman. Finds a lane. A look from Miller, who airballs the 3. Halfway through this first quarter. Howard yet to score in 3 minutes, so King quicks it. Here's the 3. Creek is short. Offensive board, Steele. It ricochets to a teammate. That's a kick ball. There are no passing lanes here for Howard.
Not at all. And when you're sticking out your foot like that too, hard to get a pass off.
We'll take the timeout. 2-point defensive battle here in Greenville. Education Day morning, reminding you the last time these teams met. 2019, Howard dominant in the second half. Nicole Hope had 13 for the Bison that night. Only the 8th ever meeting. A very new traditional rivalry. And today in this matchup, both teams in 3-minute scoring droughts, tight defensive battle.
Absolutely, but the star players are showing out. Howell already asserting dominance here for the Bison.
She's got 6. And the Pirates 3 early fouls in the quarter. Howell, good look, that's tipped. Gets right back to her. Double teamed Howell, best player on the floor. King down to 4. King pressured, here's a 3. Creek can't hit.
Great closeout on that.
So Howard's missed its last 6. And in comes Tamia Ware for ECU. The LSU transfer played with Flau'jae Johnson and a talented LSU team led by Kim Mulkey last year. Anjanae Hutton has it tipped. Her former teammate the steal. That's Niall Miller. Hutton spent 3 years at Howard on the all-conference team in the MEAC. Nice dime and a foul on the drive. Marissa Steele creates position.
Great slot pass inside. Some high-low action. I mean, that is blueprint basketball right there.
So Weish will sub out with 2 early fouls. Both Weish's, well, one has 2, one has 1. Contested catch. Miller, good defense. Howell goes down low. This is Steele. Kick out. King passes. Here's Howell. Just short. Howard's had good looks but can't hit.
And those top defenders are working hard. Howard is moving the ball.
Inside to Joyner, fresh off the double-double versus South Carolina. Extra pass. Hutton spins. Misses. Tipped out by Steele. And what Howard's done to limit the paint touch is impressive.
Absolutely. They're crashing down hard once anyone gets a paint touch.
ECU 30 points in the paint in its previous home game, a win over Furman. Right now, though, Pirates haven't scored in 4 minutes. Joyner doubled. What a time! And Hutton missed the bunny. Oh, point blank.
Got to imagine this is tough for Hutton, but I commend her for still going at it. But you got to imagine she's trying to prove herself against her former team.
Anjanae Hutton, all conference in the MEAC 2 years ago, but misses the bunny. Hutton gets it back. A chance for redemption, and Hutton's fouled, so free throws. That's Steele's first.
I think against Howard's defense, this is exactly what you have to do. They're crashing in the paint. You got to drive. Get those fouls. Get them in foul trouble early. Get to the free throw line.
And for the first time in the Kim McNeil era, free throw shooting is a strength of this Pirate team. They're second in the American, 74%. Last year hovered below 60% for much of the year. And despite that, made a tournament final, which shows you the margins aren't very small for this team.
For sure. As far as the Pirates go, it's a testament to their, inside play. You're getting offensive rebounds, getting hacked inside. You gotta complete the play on the free throw line.
Still searching for first points in 5 minutes, and that streak continues. Defensive board for Howard, and then a risky pass. Vanessa Blake, the Radford transfer, throws it away.
Some great defense, obviously, right off the bat.
Been really tough to break down this Howard defense for ECU, who came in scoring 65 a night. Ware gets space. Ware knocks it in.
Oh, that was sweet. The kids needed that one.
First 3 for the Pirates tonight, snapping a 5-minute drought. Look at this defense. Up in the face of Ware. Here's a 3. And that's off. Joyner the board. Joyner running the break. The all-conference junior. Tamia Ware, who've missed the first 2 games, a former UCF starter, making things happen. Here's Joyner. And a tip drill from King out of bounds.
How about something to wake up all these crazy kids? Beautiful step back 3.
Kids Bop version 3. That was needed too. Pirates had missed their last 7 shots as Steele goes down low. That's off. Tip drill to Wheeler. King crossover. Walker shot fake. Good drive. Walker no. Second chance King. Kicks out. Another look. Blake no. King the board. King hacked. Howell, little step back in the bag, and that trickles out.
There must be a lid on the hoop on that side.
How about the defense of the Pirates? They're holding off those shots.
Yeah, they're forcing tough shots, so obviously got to keep that up, not only now, but the entire game.
That's a level of defense that allowed Notre Dame with Enrique Aguilar to win the championship 5 years ago. So intense on the defensive end. Locking teams down under 50 a game. Hurt goes down low, and that's an offensive foul. Jayla Hurt commits her first.
Looked like she was holding her knee a little bit on that fall. Trying to be deceptive, but obviously Howard in position there for the charge. But something to look out for right now. Herb is hobbling off, holding that right knee.
That's a knee she suffered an ACL injury with a year ago at the end of the previous season. Just making her way back earlier this month. And here's Howard, who hasn't scored since the 7-minute mark. Good look down low, steal misses.
Yeah, you got to try harder against Joyner on that. Maybe a pump fake or two to get her off her feet, but.
Ware kicks out. This is Jade Tillman into the game. The all-hair team on the court. Joyner, good space.
What a pass.
And hits it.
What a great pass on that.
So where can Howard find a bucket here? 13 straight misses.
They got to keep being deceptive up top. Obviously, this Pirate defense is suffocating, forcing tough shots, but one pass fake, and you're getting them off their feet. Got to get someone inside on that too.
Steal down low, begging for the rock. King steps in, and no good. The shooting woes continue.
That's exactly what the Pirates want.
Still a 3-point game. Fifth-year senior Tamia Ware with it. Off the pick. Hutton with 2. Joyner turns and is blocked. Late in the shot clock, and that ends the quarter.
Would have gotten the kids riled up if there was a buzzer beater early.
So we'll take the timeout. Kim McNeil bedazzled for many reasons. Her club up 3 after a quarter.
We call it drive. The unrelenting desire to become the person you were born to be. Ignited by a moment. The realization that a future you could only dream of is within reach. At East Carolina University, you won't just imagine a path. You'll forge one through hard work and the success that comes without surrender. The journey that leads to your future. And this is where it begins.
There's only one way to win. It doesn't have shortcuts. It's a spirit to outwork, outsmart, and outlast the competition.
Catch me if you can.
It demands boldness, grit, and guts. It says we can, and we will. It's what separates us from the rest. There's only one way to greatness, and that's the American way.
Education Day had us thinking, what were your favorite classes growing up? And Gab, you talk about Miss Nichols. Give me a story about Miss Nichols.
Oh my gosh, this poor woman. I got class clown in high school, so let me tell you that. And it started early. This woman had to deal with any joke I'd make in the middle of class, but she respected me for it. I mean, she liked what I submitted, especially she was my creative writing teacher, so I would submit the craziest things, and she'd commend me. So
And Miss Kinnon taught me how to read and write, so that's always important at a young age. We got
Glad to have you.
6,000 elementary school kids with Gabby Sartori. I'm EvanBudrovich. A low-scoring defensive battle. There's another missed three. Howard's missed 16 shots. You could put that in Crayola markers. Tillman gets the board. Especially those Crayolas with the erasers on the back.
Oh, the best.
Of the 64-pack. If you're Howard, though, how do you color some offense? Because there's been nothing in the last 9 minutes.
They are 2 for 18 in field goals. And I just think they got to relax. I think maybe the crowd is getting to them. Maybe that suffocating Pirate defense is getting to them. But they got to settle it on offense. And, yeah, just relax.
Now on this end, they've held ECU to 8 turnovers and have stayed in this game.
Which is very unlikely for the Pirates on this floor. Last time they were on this floor, they were over 20 turnovers caused against Furman.
Here's Tillman breaking down the zone.
What a great way to open up the quarter.
Third three for the Pirates tonight. Now this ECU matchup zone, it's a staple of Kim McNeil. Broken down, and a foul on the box out. Joyner called for it. That's her second. And now some questions here if you're Kim McNeil. Top 2 forwards in foul trouble.
I think Howard they kind of got lucked out on that shot over there. Here's a shot from Tillman. And all the kids jumping up in the crowd after that one.
That's Tillman's third three of the year. And Joyner stays in the game with that foul. They called Tillman for it, so that's her first. Morgan Mosley checks in at the point forward position. She's the charge drawn leader in Pirate history. Look at the defense from Johnson.
Yeah, Coach McNeil said time and time again, Mosley is the glue for
Down
this
to
team.
3. King swings it. Howell bailout 3, no. And a shot clock violation. I mean, 0 of 16 in a row. You don't see that in college basketball.
No, you don't. That is the defense that Coach McNeil has cultivated here.
You look at scoring defensive leaders. McNeese State holding teams to 35.
Wow.
But 6 points in 12 minutes is pretty darn impressive.
That's pretty unbelievable.
So Howard will go to its bench. Kaya Creek, a recent starter, grad senior forward, comes in. Pirates on this end turn the ball over too many times. 8 giveaways. Johnson steps through. Good look. Mosley hacked. Second ball, no. Defensive board, Thomas. Zanaya Thomas, a game changer. Preseason All-MEAC if they can find her in the post. Remember, Howell has 6 points. That's it. So Hemingway goes, and it rolls out. Around the world. That's a game we all played as kids.
I said there was a lid on the hoop early on, and I think they're still there.
Unbelievable. 17 misses in a row. And yet it's a close game. It's hard to explain.
You got to give it to Howard. They're getting the shots off. They're unlucky.
Joyner on this end. Johnson drives, and a 3 in the key. So Mosley the turnover. Now, if you're East Carolina and you want to win an American title, 9 first-half turnovers is just too many.
No, especially against Howard. I mean, playing gritty right now, but even so, against South Carolina, 27 turnovers. I'm sure Coach McNeil is not too thrilled about that. They want to be on the opposite side of that.
Romy Levy in South Florida, the preseason favorites. They can light it up at 80 a game. You can't play this style and expect to win come tournament time.
That's right. Got to get the kinks out early.
So Howell misses the jumper. The defense can certainly translate to March. On this end, Johnson drives. Tillman again. Nice movement, but a miss. Tillman the board. Joyner misses the layup. Second chance. That time in. Good tenacity.
With fewer defenders, she's unable to finish, but try 3 defenders on Joyner, and it's easier to make the bucket.
Some would call that stat stuffing, but Joyner's got 6 and 5 today. You get the point.
Yep.
Bohannon underneath. Good drive, Thomas, and the streak is broken. 20 shots later.
It's a great drive. Howard needed that.
Literally hadn't scored since the 8-minute mark of the first quarter.
Yep.
Bobby Smith. King guarding tight. Joyner taking advantage, and there's no answer for my mind.
No, once she starts, she can't stop.
Joyner, who scored 25 against South Carolina. The last player to score that many points was Paige Beckers of UConn a year and a half ago. Just to give some perspective on how dangerous Joyner can be. As here's a foul.
And Joyner was playing against an All-American the entire time, not just 25 points against, you know, just anyone. And there's that putback again. Tried 5 defenders on that. And the bucket here. What a tough drive.
And to Joyner's credit, when she gets the ball in the post, good luck stopping her tonight.
Oh, you got to try real hard. I mean, 5 defenders I saw over there, so not like they're not trying.
Now Howard has stayed out of foul trouble. That's been the key. But there's been no stopping that woman right there, the Michael Jordan of East Carolina. 25-10 against Malaysia Full Willie, the #1 team in the country. She was the offense for the Pirates.
Absolutely. And despite a tough loss, you got to commend her efforts.
Scored 25 of 44 total points. And Kim McNeil said when she's cooking, nobody can stop her in the country.
Not at all.
What a pass. And Miller to the line. So it's vision, too, not just scoring.
She's playing like a point guard out here now. Look at this. Look, Rajon Rondo up here. Eyes at the front and back of her head.
Her body's
Finds
going
Miller
one
down
way,
there.
and her eyes are going the other.
Yeah.
Incredible. From
That is not easy.
a 6-foot point forward. Pirates have missed all their free throws today. And that streak ends 1 of 4.
Nice announcer jinx on that.
It's all part of it. We're here to report the facts. Kaya Miller, who slid into the starting lineup this year, averaging 8 a game, puts 2 more. And now active hands Miller, making her presence felt. Howell in her grill. So that defense relentless from ECU.
Absolutely.
Johnson on this end, misses. It's Weish. Tatiana with the board, and a steal. This is Howell. Howell with numbers. Howell step through, offensive. Wow, Kaya Miller takes the charge.
Doing it on both ends. Look at this. One way to put an exclamation mark off a mistake on offense. Beautifully set her feet.
She had defensive position.
Absolutely.
A little energy there, a steal and a charge from Kaya Miller. How does that play a factor when you're making a lineup?
Oh my gosh, I mean, you can't teach effort. So if you want to be out there, you get to play, and Miller wants to be out there.
Miller only played 8 minutes a game last year as a freshman. She'll be earning a ton of time with plays like that. Here's part 3 of the bag. Miller, a little step through, then calls her number. What an unbelievable 30 seconds.
She is feeling herself right now. Oh my gosh. Very shifty up top, and you know, pump fake does wonders.
So Kaya Miller takes the charge, steals the ball, and hits a jumper. You couldn't have drawn it up better. Miller is blocked. That's Weish, the rejection. Everything clicking for ECU.
After a quiet first quarter, they are really pouring it on here. Like a shimmy step back. Oh, and the pump fake. Beautifully executed. Yeah, you got to try harder than that.
Howard, 1 of its last 8. The scoring woes playing a factor in this second quarter. It's King's turn, way off. Tip drill, a foul on Johnson on that second board. So the Pirates with their second team foul. That'll lead us to a media timeout. This defensive battle of knives and swords. Pirates up 12 early. Welcome back to this Education Day afternoon. My Joyner cooking 8 and 4, and the numbers are a little misleading here, but ECU, despite the turnovers, dominating this first half.
But my, she is picking up right where she left off again from her 25-point game against the Gamecocks and showing dominance. We're not even through the first half.
Now, if you're Howard, 1 of 9 shooting in this quarter. Destiny Howell with 3 fouls on the bench. Got to find some offense here late.
They're getting shots up, but I've said it multiple times this game. There's a lid on the hoop. They got to finish some shots and maybe gain some confidence from there.
Ty Grace, who's a Hall of Famer at New Haven, is a player, and she is earning with this Howard club. Hard to find offense today. Thomas out of the timeout. There's your offense.
That's a big confidence boost there.
So Thomas has 4, Howell 6. That's the scoring for Howard today. The Howard team that won a slow 39-36 game over Mount St. Mary's over the weekend.
Good to see Hurt back in.
Came out with a knee injury. Good point.
Yep.
Joyner down low, continues to cook. She's got 10.
The Miller and Joyner connection today is just on full display right now.
Joyner in double figures in every game this year. Good ball. Open 3. That's off. Howard 2 of 15 from deep. So Miller sprints down the court and has fouled on the drive. That's King, her first.
And to your point before, Coach McNeil has mentioned that she wants in she wants double doubles from her each game. So this is pretty on par right now.
Has 28 of those in her career. Crazy to think Joyner's only 5 rebounds from a double-double.
Hard to stop her.
It's the Kaya Miller game tonight. 6 really effective points. Now she has missed 3 free throws. That's probably the one area the coach bedazzled in purple's thinking about right now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a 13-point lead, largest of the game. Good press break from Kaya Creek, who's doubled, and then Miller picks the pocket. Miller the other way, 2 more, thanks to great defense.
Defense goes to offense right away. The top just gets Howard in those coffin corners right when they pass the midline. You gotta get that trap.
ECU last year led the country in turnovers forced. They're doing it again this year.
That's right, and as I mentioned before, once they get over the midline, that is a coffin corner. Howard can't get back, otherwise it's backcourt violation. So it's either a turnover or a wild pass.
Howard is asked to check the clock after a bucket. So they'll bring both teams to the bench. Ty Grace, who's a mom of 1, her son Kalen. A great family connection. This Howard staff, they're so connected. Brian Davis, Donnie Smith, building a ton of culture as one of the better Howard teams in program history. But right now, struggling with some turnovers.
They're looking at a clock error.
Yeah, the shot clock becomes an issue. I didn't know 60 seconds was an option on the shot clock. Thankfully, they can manually count and then reset the clock.
And there is no basketball being played right now, yet you hear these kids screaming their heads off.
Yeah, they don't need basketball to be entertained.
No, not at all. As long as they're out of class.
They got Bluey on the iPads.
Yep.
They got some Cardi B rocking.
Bottomless popcorn, candy.
So Kim McNeil and the Pirates, back-to-back winning seasons, and more impressively, Coach of the Year 2 years ago. She noted this season with her husband Corey, now at UNC as an assistant, we got to regain our identity, and that starts on the defensive end.
Absolutely. She's trying to make them a turnover machine. And, I mean, last time they were on this court, over 20 turnovers against Furman. They're trying to get back after that South Carolina loss, having committed 27 turnovers.
A nearly 70% win percentage those last 3 years. This has been a great turnaround here in Greenville. Now the ref's explaining only one of the shot clocks is accurate. So Looks like the one on the Howard side says 28. The other one looks a little funky, but we'll see if it adds up.
Oh, says 58 now.
So there's the good shot clock, and there's the
Oh boy.
the other one. I do think as a player now, because the side shot clock's working, but not the top one, you got to be creative in how you figure this out.
Right.
Okay, they got it reset. But if you're Howard, just 4 points in the quarter, more turnovers than points. As Creek breaks the press. Miller down low. Thomas, no good. Miller again, yes.
You got to give it to them. They're doing pretty well breaking the Pirates' press. It's just unlucky on a couple misses.
Have missed 10 shots inside of 10 feet, but if they start making those, this is a different game.
That's right.
As Herp goes way deep and is short.
Pirates can't get too comfortable. I mean, the first quarter was just 9-6. So anything can happen.
The Howard team has won 2 games scoring less than 50. This is a comfortable style. Thomas, good look. Miller drives, extra passing. Off on the 3, did everything right.
That was a business decision not to finish that one on Joyner.
Miller the interception, picking off Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Down low, good move, and a foul. Sends Creek to the line.
If you're Howard, paint touches are going to be key this game. And obviously the Pirates have dominance with their big girls, and you got to get them in foul trouble if you want to get them out of the game.
Well, to their credit, that's 2 on Weish, 2 on both Weishes, in fact. And Joyner has 1. That's a 3-headed monster not many teams at this level can defend physically.
Absolutely, especially when a couple of them can play like guards. And Coach McNeil mentioned that even Jade Tillman has to be performing on the perimeter because they have so many bigs.
The preseason award, the Katrina Mullane Power Forward Award, includes My Joyner as a mid-major candidate. She could be electric with the likes of M.K. Timpson at Florida State, Malaysia Fulwilly at LSU, really good point play. And then Joyner's dominated with a near double-double in this first half. Pirates looking that way with Hutton. Now Joyner back to work. The double-double machine puts on the spin cycle and misses. Offensive board fouled. There's no stopping Joyner tonight.
Got to give it to Howard. They are putting their all on Joyner. Three defenders on Joyner right there. She's just relentless in the paint.
It feels like 20 rebounds. I know it's only 5, but Joyner touches so many balls. This is not the days of Brittany Griner, just 8 inches taller than everybody else, getting rebound. This is Joyner 6'2", but wins every ball.
Just casually gets a double-double. Granted, some of those rebounds might be off her misses, but she does not give up.
Ty Graves, who in a decade not only has won a MEAC title, has reached 6 MEAC finals, has put the Bison in a great spot to win the conference. They're tied with Norfolk State as preseason favorites. Norfolk State's got an elite guard, Diamond Johnson, the NC State transfer. That could be a fun MEAC tournament up in Baltimore. Here's some pressure on Creek. Good hands, and a timeout for Ty Graves. Man, this activity is next level from East Carolina.
Those are the exact spots on the press that you want the other team to get into. That's pretty tough to get out of that.
So what's that nose tape, by the way? I've never seen that.
I saw that earlier. I'm not sure.
I mean, I know it helps open up your nostrils, but that is like full-on adhesive on the face.
Yeah, that's what I would have guessed.
A Pirate team has lost to a mid-major ranked James Madison and then #1 team in the country. They've shown us in this first half, if that defense continues to play, they're going to be a tough out in the conference.
Absolutely. And although those road losses were tough, Coach McNeil's mentioned time and time again, good. You know, get that experience against better teams, clean things up before you get into conference play.
Middle Tennessee State, the best mid-major team a year ago, made the 3rd round of the tournament. There is a formula for teams like this, and it starts with tenacious defense. Creek is pressured, King doubled. Miller breaks it. Clark drives, and Creek misses. Joyner wins the tap. What else can she do?
Oh,
behind the back.
The handles.
Then gets a little creative and a jump ball.
A little too flashy, but I like that out of her.
When you turn the Ferrari from 0 to 60, sometimes it spins out. I think she hydroplaned there.
Showing off a bit with this behind the back wraparound, but almost got there.
Remember, Maya Joyner grew up 15 minutes from here, Farmville Central. Her middle school is in attendance today. Think about that next generation who could, or at least aspire to be the next Maya Joyner.
And how cool is it if you're a kid from her school seeing, wow, someone that went to my school is probably the best player on the court right now. It's pretty awesome.
An All-American candidate, Maya Joyner, anchoring this Pirate club. Here's Cooper. Finally a three. That's the first triple of the quarter for Howard.
By all means necessary for them. Tons of misses, but you got to keep shooting.
Miller misses. Joyner, who's the foul on? It's on King. On the box out, that's her second.
Great cross-court pass. Beautiful finish. Howard needed that.
You would think, based on numbers, this is a 20-point game. It's an 8-point difference.
It blows my mind.
And if you're Ty Grace, I realize it's 8 points, but you got to be pleased with how your team's in this game.
Absolutely. They have not shown an ounce of giving up whatsoever. Defense has been tenacious. Offense, they're missing shots, but they're taking them.
Joyner gets a friendly bounce. Pirates 4 of 10 from the line. And I need those beats. It is loud today. I wonder what he's listening to, though.
It's either beats or safety from the noise.
Works either way on Education Day. 5,000 plus in attendance. 10-point difference. King kicks it, but throws out of bounds.
I think that might have hit someone back there.
You sense a little bit of frustration against this press.
Oh, right. I mean, at this point, you got to relax. I know it's tough. Kids all around, the speed of the defense that the Pirates are forcing down your throat, but you got to try to, as much as you can, control the speed of the game. And that starts in the front court.
Here's Joyner. Good catch. Joyner spins and miss. A nice board for Thomas. Now Howard in transition. King overshoots Creek. Back-to-back turnovers. In a 10-point game, that's 5 pretty good looks, points-wise.
And I do appreciate Howard really upping the speed on the fast breaks. The Pirates might be falling asleep a bit on their fast break defense.
Final minute here in Greenville in Minji's Coliseum. Hutton on the mismatch. Hutton bangs in. That's offensive. Big arm into the chest of Kaya Creek. Miller, my apologies.
The thought is there, but that's a good take.
Do you review that for a flagrant foul? There was a lot of contact to the face.
I'm not. I think it's momentum mostly. Definitely not malicious, and she's winding up.
Does put the Pirates in major foul trouble. All the power forwards have 1 or 2 fouls.
And that's got to be the strategy here.
Howell, oh, that's an offensive foul. Away from the ball. So that's on Niall Miller.
Howard showing some full court press here for the last.
Oh, my apologies. That's on East Carolina. I think both teams thought it was on Howard.
I was like, I think they're in a full court press now. Oh, yeah. Joyner playing like a lineman out there trying to get over that pick.
That is Joyner's second foul. Howell comes back in. King cuts down. Thomas misses. Joyner the board, playing with the 2 fouls.
Joyner playing floor general for like the 5th time in this game.
Johnson with 10. Gets a pick. Nice double. Up top. Joyner lays. Hutton catches, stripped. Oh, and a foul on Howell. That's her 4th foul.
Wow. What a great pass. Yep. The pump fake and gets her on the landing.
So if you're Howell and you're playing with 3, you can't commit that there.
Back in high school, they used to tell us, put your hands on your shorts on defense when you're that deep in foul trouble.
And I know Coach Grace is begging her case there, but that's clearly a foul.
Absolutely.
So decisions here in the second half for Howard. Best player with 4 fouls. And here's Hutton. Howell, tough catch, and Johnson commits the foul. So now both teams in the bonus. This is free throws for Howell.
It was quiet at the free throw line in the first quarter. Howell really fighting for the ball, but again, she's got to be careful there.
Yeah, in this quarter alone, we've had 13 combined fouls. The whistle's playing a factor.
Wow.
Okay, how long do you leave Howell in the second half with the 4 fouls?
Unless you want to play 4-on-5 on the defensive end, I'm not sure you start her.
Howell makes both. Final 3 seconds. Johnson has time. Sania from half court doesn't get it off. And we'll go to break. East Carolina scoreless the final 3 minutes, so Howard back in business down 9. We got a tight one on Education Day. Plenty to talk about. Back on ESPN+.
Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Tribal Peace. Basketball season has started. championship season is upon us, and we also have a ton of football going on. So as you can imagine, picking top plays this week was not easy, but we tried our best. Coming in at number 5, Tulsa men's basketball. How about a slam from Dewan Odom? Oh my gosh, just breaking away from the pack, throwing it down. Tulsa would go on to win this game. Another team that won this weekend, making it their 6th victory in conference play, was the Tulane Green Wave. They had the lead over Temple, 14-0. Darian Mensah drops back, finds his favorite target, Mario Williams. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? No, he is not kidding. He's just that good at football. Now, another student athlete that is very good at their respective sport is Maeve English from East Carolina. Here's her and her team in the semifinals trying to get the upset over South Florida. She's going to help with that huge save. And look at the emotion from her as well. They go on to win this one in PKs. Maeve English making a statement. I told you there were a lot of plays to choose from, right? Well, how about this one from Navy? Blake Horvath trying to get his team into the end zone, and he does, diving into the pylon. He really just doesn't look human at this point. Blake Horvath and the midshipmen stopping a 2-game skid. They'll play Tulane this week in conference play. There's something about the ECU Pirates and overtime. Here they are playing the number 1 seeded Memphis. That is Annabelle Abbott right there for the American Conference Championship. That is the first time in East Carolina's history that they would win the title. Oh my gosh, congratulations to Annabelle Abbott and the Pirates. I told you there were some great plays this week. And this week, if you happen to see more, make sure you use the hashtag #AmericanTopPlays on social. Let's get you back out to some more action. Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Tribalpiece. We've had an exciting season of women's soccer so far, and now it's time to hand out some major awards. The Rice Owls finished 4th in the regular season, and they also picked up a few major awards.
Graduate student Leah Chansey was named the Offensive Player of the Year after leading the conference in points with 22 and goals with 9. Chansey also had 4 assists in 18 games played. The defending AAC champions and #1 overall seed in Memphis had 2 student-athletes win major awards. The Tigers' Finley Lavin was named the Americans' Defensive Player of the Year. She helped lead the Tigers' defense to allowing just 9 goals in 16 games played and 8 shutouts on the season. South Florida finished second in the regular season standings and also had 2 players earn major awards. Junior Sadie Sider-Eckenberg of South Florida was named the Midfielder of the Year. She started in 16 games for the Bulls and scored 5 goals, had 2 assists, and 12 points. The Goalkeeper of the Year also comes from the Bay. Leda Ariath Golok started in 17 games for South Florida. She led the conference in shutouts and boasted 45 saves and a .882 save percentage. The other major award winner from top seed in Memphis was I Kittigau, who was named the Americans' Freshman of the Year. The first year scored 6 goals, had 4 assists, 16 points, and helped her Tigers win the regular season title. The Rice Owls not only had the Offensive Player of the Year, but also the Coaching Staff of the Year. The group of head coach Brian Lee, assistant coaches Jen Punningham and Travis Curson, along with goalkeeper coach Bella Kilgore, led the Owls to a 5-4-1 record in conference play and an 11-5-2 record overall.
For more information on our postseason awards, as well as our Women's Soccer Championship, log on to theamerican.org.
Welcome back to Minji's Coliseum. We got a tight game here at halftime. Education Day, 6,000 plus on hand, and a 9-point difference. Ton of credit to Howard late in the half on a 5-0 run to cut into a big ECU lead. Welcome into Minji's Coliseum. If you couldn't tell, there's a ton of kids here and they're having a blast. first and foremost, how about the effort of ECU defensively to get out in front in that first half?
Absolutely, causing 9 turnovers, but I want to see the same on offense. Unfortunately, ECU with 13 turnovers and a pretty sloppy start for both teams. 9-6 in the first quarter and now 28-19. You would think the Pirates have at least a 20-point lead in this one.
And Gabby, Amaya Joyner's been amazing. Near double-double, but Howell in foul trouble. It could be a battle of stars in the second half.
You wonder what Howard's going to do if she's going to start this third quarter, and you got to be cautious with her up until now.
How about some of those highlights from the first half? Because Howell's been excellent, especially in that first quarter, making things happen.
Absolutely. She's the playmaker on offense, already asserting her dominance from the three-point line, but she's been quiet since she's been in foul trouble. You got to get more offensive productivity out of her, and you got to get more from everyone else on the floor, to be completely honest. But she's taking the shots. She's making them for the most part. But right now with the foul trouble, it's going to be interesting. 8 points already, 2 for 9 from the field goals, and yeah, those 4 fouls are going to be the storyline for her.
Has 8 of the 19 points, and then for ECU, Maya Joyner nearly a double-double in the first half.
Oh my. I mean, she is just dominating the paint. It's funny too. She's stat padding off of maybe her own misses, but she does not give up on each possession. Something to commend for her.
Just a monster in these down-low touches.
The defensive presence in the paint is getting their work cut out for them for sure. But she's got to keep up the momentum in the second half. Already 12 points, 5 for 9 field goals, and 8 rebounds. Coach McNeil has always mentioned she expects a double-double from her every game, and of course already proving that to be true in this one.
She's the Angel Reese of 2024, double-double leader in the American Athletic, and fresh off a 25-10 outing. Another good performance. Now the shooting numbers, that's going to teach the elementary school kids a thing or two today. They got to get both offenses going.
That's right. Practice makes perfect, kids.
If there's any lesson from this first half.
Absolutely.
Howard 3 of 17 from deep, and the Pirates have missed 7 free throws. So it is Education Day. Oh, man.
Oh, look
I went
at
back
that.
in the vault for all of us growing up. So that was me losing my teeth at like second grade when they all got knocked out at the same time. Okay,
Oh,
Gabby, I see
wow.
you.
I got some life in my eyes.
Look at us, young, wild, and free. Kyle Gaskins said, hey, I'm just going to go to the park and have a blast. That's our producer. Kyle's also 6'5", so he grew in very well. Kyle Williams with his young dog named Puppy.
Very
We've been
cute.
told. And then Director Mike's having the time of his life. I want to know what he's having.
Calm, cool, and collected.
I'll take some of that in my baking. That probably hasn't changed in 40 years for
Nope.
Mike. But he's having a blast. And then a friend of the program, Patrick Johnson. Kind of the same face, too.
Hasn't aged a bit. Look at that.
Not much has changed.
The man, the myth, the legend.
He's working the radio call today. So thanks for joining us here in Greenville. You saw us all as kids. Now as adults with Gabby Sartori, I'm EvanBudrovich. You met the crew earlier. They've all aged perfectly over the years.
Like fine wine.
In this second half, Pirates offensively have 12 from Joyner, 9 from Miller, but the rest of the club searching for that tertiary scoring. Here's Weish playing with 2 fouls. Spins, and that's offensive. Make it 3 fouls on Weish. Good defense from Niall Miller.
Coach has mentioned time and time again, she wants to see the Weish sisters be more than just rebound machines. Definitely getting the confidence on the offensive end has been tough from the start of the season. So a game like this, in this second half, they got to take to their advantage on the offensive end.
And that's the size advantage ECU's had in this game, but with all 3 forwards in foul trouble, that changes the perspective.
I think that's the strategy that Howard needs to accommodate to. 2 fouls each for the now 3 for one of the Weish twins. That's how you get them out.
Remember, Howell for Howard, top scorer, has 4 fouls, so she starts on the bench. And with Howell out, there was a 9-minute scoring drought for the Bison. Can this guard-oriented lineup find the production here in the third quarter? This is King. Even hard to enter the paint as King's guarded well. Johnson in her grill. Clock to 2. Creek drives. Comes up short.
Sometimes I feel like if they hit the rim on offense, it's a win.
It's been hard to get good looks. 6 of 36 shooting. And yet only a 9-point game. Joyner down low continues a dominant game.
Beautiful find. Joyner always finds the space inside the paint. That is her domain.
She has half the scoring, 14 of 30 for the Pirates.
The guard presence up top is relentless.
Dangerous pass and a Howard turnover. So Howard in the first half avoided those kind of mistakes. Now with their best player out, it's going to be hard to find production.
It's tough to not have a floor general on the floor, especially like one here. What a great pass to get inside to Joyner.
Howard, Joyner's 6 of 10, living in that paint. Here's Weish. Talia spins. Good look. And Joyner's there. I love the post-to-post passing.
Great draw and dump in the paint.
That vision has led to double-digit Pirate assists, and those two down low playing well together.
Absolutely. You'd have to think if you're Howard, just have some man-to-man defense down low, I feel like. Get Joyner out of the equation.
Good response for Zania Thomas.
But that backside defense is going to be crucial for Howard. They can't sleep on the backside.
As Sania Johnson sprints ahead. Another good look, and Joyner has 8 second-half points.
She's just putting on a clinic right now in front of these kids.
Joyner scored 25 on Sunday at South Carolina. She's already got 18.
She's up to that pace right now.
Can Joyner crack the 30 burger? That's the question. As King's short.
They just keep feeding her the ball. She's hot.
Johnson kicks it. Open look. Just short. Guess who? Joyner fouled. And Thomas the reach in.
When Joyner's playing, you got to imagine, it's like there's a magnet on her hands. The ball just follows her. And here's a draw and dump between Weish and Joyner. Textbook execution on that. And the effort's there on Howard's offensive end. But of course, my, making them pay on both ends.
Joyner, who entered the season at 800 career points, she's been unstoppable tonight. To get to 1,000 points by Christmas, which would be impressive.
That'd be a great Christmas gift.
I love the mix of jerseys there. NC State, Atlanta Braves, ECU, Kobe Bryant jersey. Kids have all different passions.
Jersey, you know?
Education Day, where there's a record crowd today. 6,865 people.
Wow.
And probably 6,600 of them are under the age of 15.
Goodness gracious. And as we know, it is so loud in here. My Apple Watch has told me multiple times that there's a warning on the kind of decibels.
It's led to some Howard turnovers as Creek misses the jumper. ECU's defense stifling in front of this big crowd. And my Joyner's like the centerpiece. She's the lead prize fighter, and then Miller is the second card with a jumper.
Miller is just so smooth when she gets into a rhythm. She's been from the start rhythmic on offense.
And unlike Jake Paul, Miller and Joyner have been throwing punches all night. Really making things happen.
Jake Paul really catching a stray out here.
35 combined points. There's a block for Joyner. Another tussle underneath. This is better boxing than in Dallas. And we got a foul on Howard.
Bodies are hitting the floor early.
And unlike on Netflix, you can stream this perfectly clear tonight on E+.
Good way to plug them in there. Yeah, Miller's just so smooth.
So foul trouble for Creek. She exits. And Howell remains on the bench with those 4 fouls.
I was just going to say, it must be pretty frustrating for her to watch this right now.
Miller lost it off her foot, but is ruled last touch by King. And here's Vanessa Blake, who started all 31 games last year, but has embraced a bench role as a senior, 3 points a game. Blake was part of the All-Big South team 2 years ago with Radford. The challenge, though, who can stop my Joyner down low? Jayla Herp, wide open, hits it.
A little confidence boost for Herp out here. First few points of the game.
Herpet averaged 13 a game coming in. It's the Joyner show tonight, but that tertiary scoring coming.
Absolutely. Coach McNeil needs a go-to on the perimeter, and she mentioned Herp multiple times to be that go-to.
King cannot respond. Herp has the board. What an electric return for Jayla, shooting it at nearly 30% from three. Now attacks, and a foul on Blake. That's a 9-0 ECU run. That could continue.
I think for her, obviously, scoring early in this quarter is a big confidence boost, but before she was holding that right knee and was hobbling a bit. So getting comfortable here, obviously, off this drive as well will be key for her confidence on the offensive end.
Dynamic duos have won American Conference titles in the past. We think of what Tamisha Lemkin and North Texas have done. They've had a dynamic scoring duo. And then with Rice, it was 3 players averaging 15 or more points. That allowed Sania Fisher and the Rice Owls to win the AAC title. ECU tonight's had 2 really good Miller and Joyner combos.
I think what separates ECU from the rest is you can have a combo of those duos on any given night. Last time they were on this floor was Herp and Joyner, and tonight Miller stepping up big.
To your point, 6 different players average 8 or more points. Who's unlocking in this one? That three's off. Good tussle. Weish able to save it. And come American Conference time, if this player's cooking here, my Joyner, good luck in the AAC. Pirates picked 5th overall, tied for 5th. Because of this star, first team all-conference Joyner. Into the spin move, fades, no good. Nice rebound, and then Miller fights for it. Last touched by Howard.
And I appreciate how the offense is finding Joyner, you know, keeping her in rhythm. Whether she's making them, missing them, they're involving her as much as possible.
So Joyner subs out after a great second half. She's got double figures in the half. Here's Devin Hagman for 3. That's the one area. ECU 3 of 11 from deep. Walker is doubled. Oh my goodness, look at the pressure. Needs a timeout and gets it. So we'll step aside. This game starting to become a blowout in the second half thanks to really good ECU defense. Pirates rolling in Education Day. Dominant second half. My Joyner carrying the load for the Pirates.
She has been unbelievable. Already 20 points and 10 rebounds. We're not even halfway through this third quarter. And that's what Coach McNeil expects every night. A double-double, already 20 points, 8 for 13 field goals and 10 rebounds. The Pirates, 20 paint touches as well. And they've been getting it inside a lot on the offensive end to Joyner.
29th career double-double, and that's in 20 minutes for Joyner. Just impressive.
And you mentioned before, she's the American Athletic Conference Angel Reese.
Let's hope the kids don't see that Rice Krispie treat on the bench there as that ball goes out of bounds. You're right, too. Joyner is becoming an elite power forward here in the American. That leads to another media timeout. So we'll step aside, talk more of Maya Joyner and company when we return to Minges.
We call it drive. The unrelenting desire to become the person you were born to be. Ignited by a moment. The realization that a future you could only dream of is within reach. At East Carolina University, you won't just imagine a path. You'll forge one through hard work and the success that comes without surrender. The journey that leads to your future. And this is where it begins.
We start this fight! Outrun and out hit him!
Welcome back to Greenville. Education Day had us thinking, what's your favorite class growing up? And let me explain U.S. history, right? So I was a Nat Geo nerd. I would watch all the Oregon Trail videos. Like any bit of history, I was all locked in.
I love that. Creative writing for me, I absolutely hated reading. So if I had to do something English-oriented, it had to be just writing my thoughts down on paper. And that is pretty hard to grade.
Then you made someone else read it for you. That's smart thinking right there.
Pretty much.
I saw a couple arts and history classes mixed in. Well-educated crew today here on ESPN+. Education Day with 6,000 plus in attendance. Bobby Smith, the youngster off the pick. Here's Herp, hating up for three. She's got 8.
Feeling herself now, pulled the trigger without even hesitating.
And that was the question for ECU as an American threat. USF the favorite, Rice a preseason favorite. But outside of Joyner, where's that secondary scoring coming from?
It's got to come from the perimeter, especially. Coach McNeil has thrown in Herb, Miller. They just got to be more consistent. Last game, they did not get above 2 points. So it's refreshing, I'm sure, for Coach McNeil to see them producing.
Good response from Walker. Miller's got 11 today. And then Herb in the second half. She's been the option behind Joyner.
Little rusty at the start. Obviously was having a nagging injury on that right knee. She hurt last season, but you got to be pretty pleased if you're the Pirates.
As Blake is fouled by Hutton. It's a Pirate team that has to replace the do-it-all 2,000-point scorer, Danae McNeil, right? And the mindset of, here's a girl who can get you 30, and now you need everybody else to fill those points.
It is big shoes to fill, but you can't complain if you're the Pirates. Last game, 7 players scored against obviously a tough South Carolina defense, but before that, Furman, 11 different players scored. It's a spread-out offense.
And it's an offense that's clicking in the second half, 60% shooting. As Weish picks up her second, she'll go to the bench. Vanessa Blake stared at that basketball a long time before the free throw.
It's impressive to make a free throw in this environment.
I don't know the demons going through her mind, but watch this. Watch her at the end. She gets that form lined up, but it rattles out. Vanessa Blake, who was the Low Country Athlete of the Year down in Somerville, that's outside of Charleston. Elite hooper down in the Holy City. And Joyner draws a foul on Marissa Steele. No answers for My Joyner.
And I was saying this during the break. I think the people you got to feel proudest of are the season ticket holders getting through this game without the headsets on.
Joyner fades. Uh-oh. There's a late foul. Okay, looks like Joyner's okay. And Coach McNeil's working on her star forward. There's a lot of coaching going on.
If you're going to pick a game to improve fundamentals, it's got to be this one. And that is her go-to fadeaway step back. You do got to be careful about her getting injured, though.
And Coach McNeil, who was a guard herself in college, said, hey, now you go baseline, right? Like, you create the angle, go get it.
Gotta love a former player coach.
Kim has called Amaya basically her daughter, right? And going through this coaching and the nonstop relationship, and a player who grew up 20 minutes from Greenville. A lot of hands-on learning. Not to mention Kim has twin kids as well, boy and girl, who are here today. Caden and Gabrielle.
What a great name.
I guess that makes sense knowing you. So Joyner goes to work, fresh off the twin mention. It is funny that Coach McNeil has twins and then coaches twins. As Joyner goes to work, like a double-double again.
She's unstoppable. And I love how Coach McNeil is keeping her in.
Yeah, she's 4 points shy of her career best. Let her cook. Howell back in the game. Wow, that's a good look for Howard. On this end, no stopping Amaya Joyner. Hagman's 2 is short. A high school 3, so I could see where you jack it up from there.
I love the confidence that Hagman has from her coach, really embracing her role on the offense.
Hagman had a nice game against Furman. 5 points, couple of rebounds. Now she runs the break.
And the speed she brings on the offense is just unteachable.
Good
clearly.
dish. Joyner's a better answer, 25 points.
Matching her game high against South Carolina last game.
You're seeing the depth of this Pirate team today. 7 players have scored, of shutting down Howard offensively as Walker misses the jumper. ECU season low in points allowed, 56, 51, so they're getting close. That goes out of bounds.
I bumped a bit on that cut. This is just fundamental basketball here. Hagman with beautiful dish on this end. Before that, great eyesight on the court. And Coach McNeil has mentioned she's taken time to watch film alongside Hagman. So I'm sure she's learning a lot being just a freshman.
Nearing a 30-point game here on Education Day. King attacks. Good hands from Tillman, forcing 13 Howard turnovers. And this will actually go the other way. Tillman touched it. She doesn't like the call.
It's so tough being Howard, beating the perimeter and then, getting basically trapped between a Hutton and Tillman combo in the paint.
It's not the kind of sandwich I'd like to eat.
No.
2 elite shot blockers. And they'll review this. Oh, sorry, they'll reset the clock. They won't review this. I do love the sense of unity from the Howard coaching staff with the United shirts. Here's an open 3. Howell is off. And Joyner's just tipping everything. 12 boards. Good outlet. Johnson runs the break and misses. Kamora Jenkins, my apologies. Howell playing with 4. Bangs it in, double figures for Destiny Howell.
Howell trying to make up for lost time.
And if she didn't pick up that 4th, I think this is a much closer game.
I agree. She came out hot in the beginning. 8 points in the first half. That could have helped this first quarter in the second half.
There's an overpass and a turnover.
She's a smooth player. She reminds me of Miller a little bit. She finds the open space and is just graceful.
So ECU going to its bench a little deeper. Journey McDaniel making her first career appearance for the Pirates. A transfer from ETSU, number 1 in the white. So there's the depth of ECU, and that nose tape finally gets some minutes. McDaniel put under a great coach. Brenda Mock-Brown for the Bucks has transferred in for guard depth. Look at Tellman with some depth. There's a steal. Tellman the other way, step through blocked. And having none of that.
A great block.
Kaya Creek.
I thought Tillman was going to dunk that.
Get that canoe out of my creek.
Just look at the speed she goes down the court with. But great hands.
Final seconds of the quarter. And My Joyner's matched her career high in scoring. What a signature moment to end the third quarter. 27 and 12 in under 30 minutes of play for Joyner. That's crazy stuff.
Fun to do that in front of your elementary alma mater.
ECU rolling here on Education Day. To Greenville, it's a busy night in the American, including Tulane, led by All-AAC standout Sharice Pittman. They take on number 7 LSU, Flau'jae Johnson, the All-American. A lot of games going on in the conference, but that's a huge litmus test for Tulane.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, reigning champs. It's going to be a good test.
LSU with already a top 10 win this year. The American had a top 25 win a year ago. South Florida picked it up. But real tough in this new slate. Who can get the signature win for the conference? As out of the timeout, good bucket for Vanessa Blake. Because this American Conference, it's traditionally a one-bid league. ECU played number 1 South Carolina. We see Tulane playing LSU. Like, these are the games that are huge for the conference.
It's a testament to their non-conference schedules. You got to give it to the coaches really challenging their teams. Games like this today are obviously to get everyone involved, but those tests Coach McNeil has mentioned time and time again, the losses are their wins in the long run.
It's a conference that's 0-7 against the Power Four, but nice wins over CUSA, against the Sun Belt. They're undefeated. And a loose ball. Look at the effort here of Tillman going out of bounds. Yeah, that game tonight will be the 5th ranked matchup for the American against top 25 teams. I'll give South Florida credit. They gave UConn and Paige Becker some trouble in the first half on opening night. It ended a 30-point game, but it was within 10 at halftime.
For sure. I love when teams like that start off hot.
Man, USF has a great duo, Romy Levy and Vittoria Blase with Coach Fernandez. And tonight, Fernandez has overpassed Gina Oriema for most wins in American Conference history.
Wow.
Of course, UConn won 5 straight titles in the American and national titles as well. This is a historic league. It's a women's basketball conference. There's a steal for McDaniel. Tamia Ware. I mean, you look at this court. It's all transfers on the court and one freshman in Tillman. That's the recruiting of Kim McNeil.
But the team chemistry is as if they've been playing for 4 years together.
Loose ball. It's Weich's turn to operate. She steps out of bounds. A turnover.
Great move nonetheless. For the rest of this quarter, I think the Weich twins should really get their confidence on offense here. I do like how they're being aggressive early. But that's something Coach McNeil has mentioned time and time again. They're more than just rebounders.
Good move by Creek underneath. Here's some of the offense Howard needed in the third quarter.
Better late than never, kinda.
And only 7 points in the third, and the Pirates exploded, plus 18. Looks like Joyner's going to check back in, sitting on a career best. Tamia Ware off the pick, rolls in, and stay here. So Morgan Mosley and Mai Joyner re-enter.
Still tough for Howard. Howell is out in foul trouble.
Joyner's been next level, just dominant tonight, 27 points. Joyner wants 30. Joyner backs down. Good pass. McDaniel has it blocked. And a live ball stop for Howard. Howard team that won 39-36 on Saturday. King finds offense here. Good start in the fourth.
Great pump fake on the top. We're a jumpy defense like the Pirates. That's what you got to do to break that seal up top.
It's 8 fourth quarter points. Might be too little too late, but you love the effort here for Howard. Joyner held off in the paint. The defense. Tillman attacks, spins, way short, offensive tip. Where? Teardrop, no. Guess who? Joyner fouled. And the double-double continues.
4 defenders against her.
13 boards. Man, she's a monster.
She's going to look tired after that. There's the play on offense for Howard. Tillman, jumpy up top, pump fake will do.
Yeah, you're right. 4 defenders and 1 Joyner.
It's just so impressive. She looks so unfazed afterwards.
A chance to set a new career high in points. Bet that record will be shattered tonight over the next 7 minutes. Joyner's never scored 30 in her career.
There's always a first.
Her former teammate Danae McNeil did it 7 times in her Pirate career, mostly as a senior last year. The All-AAC Player of the Year.
Am I doing this? Just a junior.
How about Howell? Despite the foul trouble, it's been a nice effort for Howard. Do they keep feeding Joyner, who lost her shoe? Gets some help, gets the shoe back. Okay, now you got to feed her, right? You got 15 seconds.
I know. At least she's putting it back on, though.
Joyner runs out of the way. Oh, no way.
That would be something.
3 in the, no, a foul underneath. And Mai's just going to keep playing.
I thought they were going to call travel, and I would have been like, come on, guys.
She's playing on 1 foot. but not tying the shoe, which I find interesting. Right, you got to double knot it with all the kids in attendance.
Yeah. Set a good example here. Oh.
She's still playing with the one shoe. Okay, Joyner, what do you got? With 6,000 elementary school kids, Joyner doubled. That'll teach some teamwork with the passing. Johnson shoots, and she hits it. First points for Sinia today.
Beautiful look on that. They missed the backside off that 2-pass, but Johnson to execute.
ECU well on its way to its 11th Education Day win in 12 chances. As King fires, that's short. Loose scrum, we've seen a ton of those today. Those are the lessons you don't want the kids to learn about how to jump on top of the ball. As King reaches in for foul, that's her 4th.
And cheap reach-ins, you don't want to teach that either.
Foul trouble has made hard for Howard, and there's Amaya Joyner. We'll see how many more minutes she plays, but a record-setting performance.
Must be a nightmare for coaches in the American. Always trying to set up a game plan against her this season, only to do it again next season.
Joyner, that pass goes out of play. She was the lone forward on the second team, one vote shy of the first team. So Howell hits it in transition. She's got 13.
3-pointers off transition are like layups for her.
She's got 3 of those and has done really well making things happen. Howell, the reigning MEAC Player of the Year, who her health will be nice for Howard come conference play.
Absolutely. Unfortunate she was in foul trouble early, but she's been stellar when she's been in.
Oh my goodness, 30 and counting for Joyner on the second chance.
Like she's at practice right now.
Tipping it herself, 14 boards. Just a monster. Kids are going to go home saying they saw a Cookie Monster in the paint. Maybe a different generation reference, but their parents will get it. Now the Cookie Monster eats fruit. He has 1 cookie a day, a little more health conscious. As King hits the bunny.
They tried changing him to the Veggie Monster completely at one point, but
you got to know your brand.
I think it's cookies again now.
And the brand of Joyner is making buckets and getting snacks on the boards. There's Joyner fighting for space, putting on a show for 7,000 kids, and an and one to cap it off.
Unbelievable.
Hope you take a bite out of your Wednesday afternoon. My Joyner, career high and counting here on Education Day. Maya Joyner, they're checking if this is a flagrant foul after the shot. And no, there's a lot of arm and hand there, and then the face on the back end.
Maybe the grab after the block attempt might be put to question. That is a dangerous foul.
If it's clear and forcible contact to the head, that's when they upgrade those to a flagrant one.
Definitely not the time you want to be committing that. You need as much momentum as possible at this point for Howard.
Not the primary victim there, right? You get the arm first, then the neck region as our officiating crew led by Leah Laney figuring it all out. As a reminder, if you're looking for Christmas gifts, you can shop for E+. And that is ruled an intentional foul, so we were completely wrong. Leave it to the officials. Get 12 months for the price of 9, and you can check My Joyner a little more. That offer ends in 2 weeks, so cash in on Black Friday if you want a special deal on E+. And you can watch hundreds of games across the American multiple conferences, all with one click of the button. And you can turn down for ESPN+. That's what the kids are doing. Future subscribers. And I understand Ty Grace's point here about the intentional foul.
You gotta give it to her too. The team is down big, but she's been coaching this entire time as if they've been down by 1.
So clarifying with the official score here, the intentional foul. That'll give Joyner a couple of free throws too. So Joyner on a career-high night of 32. They'll actually let Jayla Herp shoot the intentional free throws. This is where you creatively put the stats in. So she's got 8. You give her double figures with these. The caveat is you got to make them.
Yep, just spreading the wealth at this point.
She could be the 3rd player to jump into double figures. And there you go. And then, okay, so I guess there's no free throw for the and 1. We'll figure that part out later.
It is interesting, yeah. Coach McNeil might be asking about that.
Yeah, I think that's what a replay official is talking about. Yeah, I think they're going to figure this out. And then Kim McNeil's like, I'm getting out of the way. I'll let the officials do the officiating. Because there was a shot on that attempt for Joyner.
She hit the deck and, of course, found a way to get it in. So you got to reward that somehow.
There should be a +1 here. What you'll typically see is the +1 and then the bonus and then the possession. That's what we're getting all figured out. Adrian Lawrence, our second official, and Leah Laney getting it all situated. Okay, moral of the story, Pirate possession. Keeping the kids restless here. 6,800 kids, they want to watch some hoops. Okay.
It's hilarious. Whatever music is on, they're dancing their heads off. I think Adele was just on, and someone was just
all
going
genres
crazy.
Are safe on this kind of night as Herp misses. Guess who? Joyner. That's no good. Hutton fouled. More free throws for the Pirates. ECU living on the glass. 17 0 boards.
.48 rebounds, 50 now the entire game. The Bison just a mere 24 rebounds this game.
I bet these kids think Anjanae Hutton's Billie Eilish. With that hair, with her personality. I haven't heard her sing yet, but she's dynamic on the boards.
Listen, she could do it all. I'm sure she can sing.
Having trouble with the free throws, though, as Howard cleans up the misses. In a 25-point game, we got 4 minutes to go on Education Day. Howard gears up for New Hampshire on Sunday in D.C. Here's the three. That one a bit off. And a foul on Hurt, fighting for the boards. Whistle's becoming a factor. That's our 33rd foul of the game.
Jeez.
When you get up to that 1-to-1 ratio, it's getting high.
Yeah. But, I mean, it makes sense. Two spitting images of each other on defenses.
King has fouled out, but Thomas is left alone, and then a foul. Joyner reaches in.
Caught sleeping on the backside there. Looks like they had some miscommunication on defense.
So Thomas back to the line. She's got 6 points now. If it was the first quarter, I'd be curious how many kids are heckling and screaming on that free throw attempt. I think by the fourth, they're a little burned out.
Sugar crash for sure.
Well, every kid got popcorn and gummy bears who came into attendance. As Joyner stripped, good hands by Howell, playing with 4 fouls.
You had to see the hallway just smelt of popcorn.
You got to see the floor. I got bubble gum and Snickers everywhere by me. A good day to be a kid. As Thomas shows off a bucket for the kiddos.
You'd think this game is like a 30-point lead, but it's honestly just 20. I hate to say it like that.
Howard has kept themselves in as much as they can, despite a poor third quarter. Oh, Joyner, a three. Yeah, she knew that was off. A heat check moment. And coach is like, get back on defense.
She had an identity crisis right there, playing like a guard. But that is something she's proved that she could do time and time again this game.
She's passing like one.
That's right.
Maybe not shooting like one. Miller, what a find. A kick out. Cooper, long two. That one's in. Good look for the Bison. And Kim McNeil wants a timeout. Coaching her team hard here in this 18-point game.
She is not happy. Bison cutting the lead down to 18.
So with 30-point games trickled down to 18, and Kim McNeil reminding her team, you're not going to win games like this with a sloppy fourth quarter.
Doesn't matter who you're playing, same intensity needs to be matched.
Joyner with the historic day, career high in points. It's been a dominant ECU start. Now we have seen Howard in the fourth quarter play much better.
Absolutely. Howell doing all she can. She's making up for lost time, obviously, with those 4 fouls early. But they are trickling back. I mean, there is 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, but with all the shots that they're taking and the looks they're getting, I would not be surprised if they got close to as much as maybe 10 or even single digits.
7-0 run over the last 2 minutes for Howard. A preseason favorite in the MEAC, and East Carolina just 4 weeks away from conference. They'll open up at the end of December. These are the lessons Kim's looking to coach up before AAC play.
One of the toughest lessons for the Pirates right now is you're playing a team like Howard. You cannot get complacent because that will bite you in the butt when you get into conference play against really good opponents.
Glenn Powell in the Fighting Tulsa Hurricane on December 29th. He was awesome in that movie, by the way. The eye candy for these kids today is My Joyner, 32 and 15 as she subs out. Some new faces, including Morgan Mosley, re-entering for the Pirates. 5th-year senior. Hutton fighting for space. They feed it to her against a former teammate at Howard. Hutton, second chance, misses again. Let's see if the Pirates took the message from Kim McNeil. This is Bobby Smith off on the 3.
A little bit of a tough shot on that. Don't know if that's the smartest shot to take. I think right now, times you got to take it slow.
A Howard team that'll play a really good Old Dominion club in 2 weeks. They'll play Georgetown, Seton Hall. Difficult schedule coming up. And they're showing some resolve here late.
That's a testament to the core of this team. They have not given up from jump to almost finish here.
From jump to 21 Street, a lot of effort. I think we're next to Elm Street in Greenville as well, technically.
Yes, yes.
It all circles together here in Minges. Herb cuts through. Nice dish, but a missed layup.
Good flash for the crowd here.
There have been some really nice passes tonight.
Absolutely.
There's another good look. And that three is missed. What song will the kids sing in the final minute?
Final countdown would be great.
That and the little YMCA.
Little YMCA. Did they play the Cotton Eye Joe yet? I know they did the Cha-Cha slide. They got to check off all the boxes.
It had the whip and the nay-nay tonight. As Smith cuts through. Could be the last possession for the Pirates. And a dominant wire-to-wire win. As Herb hits the three.
Just something for the kids to go home with.
Snaps an 0-for-8 drought to wrap up the Pirates offense today. And this Howard team, preseason favorite, they'll battle Norfolk State in January. Could be a preview of the league title. As that three's off, this will wrap things up. 6,865 kids enjoyed a performance of a lifetime. My Joiner 32-15 as ECU rolls on Education Day.
Three players in double-digit scoring. Very spread out offense as usual.
East Carolina's won 10 of their last 11 on Education Day, and these kids got plenty to celebrate here in Greenville.
And this is how they showed up today. So there is no difference here than what we're seeing.
And this has been the star Joiner with 32 today.
We were praising her for a 25-point game against South Carolina, but I don't know, a 30-burger is pretty impressive. She was putting on a clinic today, sometimes going against as much as 5 defenders at a time.
Really, no stopping Joiner. In that second half, she took over, had 20 herself.
Unbelievable. And a team total of 55 rebounds for the Pirates. At least half of those were hers.
A dominant performance for My Joiner, and she's about to join us in a minute. I mean, there's been some great performances in college basketball this year, but given the circumstance, given the crowd, maybe one of the better games you'll see.
Absolutely.
There's the star junior forward. So thank you, My, for joining us.
Well,
there we go, getting the mic all set up. Probably the only thing slowing you down today. 32-15, what would you describe as the best part of your game today?
rebounding and just going back up strong and finishing stronger.
Education Day, you're coming out of Farmville Central, and you just had the game of a lifetime. How does that feel to do this in front of your alma mater?
Oh, it feels amazing. Being able to play and put a big game in front of the kids and stuff.
What's gotten into you the last 2 games?
Coach Cam wanted us to play harder and just go out there and have fun, but yeah.
Any song catch your attention from the kids today?
Just Want to Rock by Lil Uzi.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, My. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great performance from My today. Dominant 32-15. Pirates roll here in Greenville. Education Day was a blast. 6,800 in attendance. They were cheering from the jump. For our talented crew who love all different types of school classes growing up. Thanks for joining us. For Gabby Sartori, for Kyle Gaskins, Mike Miles, and our great crowd, EvanBudrovich. We'll see you next week for Pirate Basketball. This is a presentation of ESPN. Education Day jumping in Minges. Pirates roll over Howard.